Hello and welcome to another After Cinema Reviews, although this is slightly after the cinema because we were both kind of busy. Today we are talking about John Wick 4. I am one of your hosts, Ben, and this is Marshall. Take it away.
John Wick 4 is the best John Wick in the entire series. Out of 1, 2, 3, and 4, 4 reigns supreme. It has the best action, the best choreographed fights, the best characters. There is nothing wrong with this film. Now I'm going to hand it over to Ben with his hottest take ever.
This does seem to be quite a hot take. I put my review of John Wick on Instagram and a couple of people commented on it.
I did see that. Let me bring it up.
But, yeah, okay, so I've talked about Shazam 2 and 65, and to clarify, those films for me were much, much worse. If you're getting me to rate a film 2 or 3 out of 10, and you're a new film, you've fucked up real badly. I gave John Wick about a 5.5 out of 10. I think a 5.6 to be precise. And I think on more watches of it, it could fluctuate, but it could also fall down from that fluctuation. For me, I don't know. I didn't rewatch the first 3 before going to watch this. I watched recaps, so I can't comment, but at least from memory now, this would be the worst John Wick for me. Not to say that it's a terrible film, there was just some too far-fetched things in the movie that just took it down, and a near 3-hour runtime that could have been solved in an hour and a half would have been much more preferable.
Nah. I think you might just be a fan of bad movies, Ben. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm not. Normally, if it's a pretty bad film, I don't like it. Hence Shazam 2, but for some reason, the cinema just hasn't been very good to me recently for films. Like I've literally just finished rewatching Cars for an upcoming video to come at some point in the future, and God, I sat downstairs nearly crying at fucking Cars. Cars is a great film. Holy shit.
Cars is good.
But yes, for me,
but John Wick is even better.
For John Wick, I think you need to get rid of the story entirely and focus solely on the action, which it does very well.
Which is exactly what they did in John Wick 4.
But they tried to add too much plot stuff with John Wick 4, continuing with things to do with the high table, just John Wick as a whole, basically just taking things and just from the second and third movie in terms of the stakes from those and the things with the Elder and the high table, and they just kind of made those a bit redundant and then just brought in Bill Skarsgård, which was one of the cooler parts of the film for me.
I feel like this film had the least plot. I feel like this one was the most action driven out of all of them.
Well, they said in
interviews. Are we sure we went into the same film?
I'm 100% sure. The people said that they were trying to focus on more character development and plot for this film, in which they just shouldn't have bothered at all. If you just kept the same rewatching the recaps, of course I understood what happened in the first 3 again, and 3 was still fine, but the first 2 were just really, really cool for me. It felt like it was just a man on the run, and kind of gave me a sort of Prison Break-esque vibe where he's just he's just taken revenge, and then he's just been, he's on the run from people trying to kill him, and then suddenly it's the third, well, this is happening again, and now it's the fourth, and he's still on the run. I wonder what's going to happen this time. But no, we'll now get further into that within the spoiler territory now. So if you continue past this point, you will hear spoilers about John Wick 4. So you've been warned. If you somehow make it past this bit and then complain that you've made it past this bit and hear a spoiler you didn't want to hear, I'm afraid that's your own fault.
You're scum. Anyway, continue.
If you called me scum, I'd be like, okay. Right, off to a big thing then.
Comment.
So to kick off some good things to say, I will say Bill Skarsgård was kind of cool in this film, although he did kind of come across as just like a spoilt brat on some occasions. But at the beginning, when he first came on the screen, I was like, I'm not sure about this. His accent's a bit weird. And then they started doing some really cool cinematography things where he was above Winston. He was proper tall above him, and I was just like, damn, this man looks a bit intimidating. And you could just see how unhinged he was, and that was quite cool. The ending for him was just a bit shit on the one hand, but just I accepted it for what it was. It was I was happy it happened, but just the way it kind of went about, he obviously knows how it works and just didn't see him shoot. So I mean, that's his own bloody fault.
That was like the best. Oh man, continue.
The best part of this film was the dragon flame or dragon breath bullets. Holy fuck, give me more of those. And the top-down sort of, I can't remember what the video game's called. There's a
Hotline Miami.
Yes,
I
that's
thought the
it.
exact same thing as soon as
that
I saw it, yeah.
was the best part of the movie. That was really fucking cool. Like, that's what John Wick does excel at. Just some crazy cool action scenes and really like cool choreographed things like that.
Yes, it excels at it. That's what the entire film is. What do you mean?
But don't forget the blind man that no one was able to shoot, even though they're all trained and all supposed to be killers, but somehow could not kill a blind man.
Because
when there was multiple people.
Skilled.
I forget about all the people on the stairs that just weren't shooting for the entire duration and managed to walk just watch them walk up the stairs. You mean?
Yeah.
You can decide what it is, but you know, it wasn't very like. Donnie Yen, I was fully excited to see in this movie, and if you just made him not a blind character, he could have done some crazy stuff. Like at the beginning...
Fuck off. Actually, no. Fuck off. Stop talking. He was even better as a blind character. There is no cooler thing in an action film than a blind character that is so skilled with like everything after they've lost their eyesight. You know, like their hearing is perfect. Their sense of, you know, like distance and everything is perfect, that they can just like sweep around attacks even though they're completely blind. You cannot tell me any different. Anyway, continue.
But you forget when he thought he'd killed John and couldn't tell if he'd killed John during the first encounter, but if his hearing and things are so good and so heightened, surely he could have heard John's heartbeat from less than 3 meters away from him, still rattling on, and his
Do you
breathing.
know how hard it is to hear someone's heartbeat? He stopped breathing. They literally showed him stop breathing. To try and make it...
I would have preferred to see
film.
Donnie Yen in a non-blind role. He played his character well. I just don't like the fact that he had plot armor up the wazoo and just didn't get shot at all. If he'd taken, you know, like a scrape or so, that would have been fine. But
he did.
That would. He didn't get shot once until the end of the film when he wasn't allowed to wear any body armor or anything and was shooting with flipping cowboy
he did get
pistols.
Shot, man. Okay.
No,
that's fine.
He literally wasn't shot throughout the entire film.
Yeah, I think we must have watched different films.
There was no penetrating bullets on Donnie Yen's character Kane up until the last bit of the movie.
Because everyone's wearing Kevlar suits.
Apart from all the other assassins that are not wearing Kevlar suits.
They're all wearing Kevlar suits. Everyone felt like so bulky in this film. I had to like suspend my disbelief at the Kevlar suits a little bit. But obviously I was able to do that. But it felt kind of realistic when it turned out that everyone was wearing the Kevlar suits. Because there was like are they Italian or Russian mob?
I think a
that
mix
were all
of both.
Fighting. Yeah,
I mean, the fact that
way.
Surely, like, I don't know how high the high table are, to pardon the pun, but I mean, across the 4 John Wick movies, he's killed an obscene amount of people. Like, I'm not sure how, like, I feel like government would have got involved somehow, and this film basically made it feel like everybody and their fucking mum was an assassin that apparently can't kill someone.
I think they can. I think it's just
plot armor. I mean, the Arc de Triomphe scene was fucking annoying. Why did they have to go around the wrong way? That was just so unneeded. Cool that it was filmed in Paris. It was nice seeing some places I've been in Paris, to be fair. Like having the end showdown be at the Sacré-Cœur. That was quite cool. But, I mean, goddamn, John Wick and his ability to take hits and get hit by cars and fall out of 3-story buildings and walk it off as if he's just taken a small slip is quite flabbergasting to see, to be fair.
I don't know about that. He was like pretty beat up. He was like limping. He got knocked out.
He was limping from the beginning of the movie. He got knocked out. The only time he got properly knocked out was at the bit with the super fat guy who is like an actual like MMA fighter, in which I'm not really sure why they made him like a fat chubby guy. He was weird, cool. Like I liked seeing like a hulking man, and I really wanted to see the sumo guys do more at the beginning because I was like, oh holy shit, you know, Japan and all the Yakuza type of sumo things. I was expecting to just see like an army of sumo dudes come out, but saddened by that. But No, like I mean, if I just rolled you in Kevlar suit down like 300 steps, I'm fairly sure you wouldn't just stand back up.
No, I probably would. Kevlar is insanely strong. And even then, the adrenaline that's flowing through my body would probably just pick me straight back up.
Don't forget about the 2 to 3 minutes before the sunrise starts, but then the 6 to 7 minutes of action fighting scenes that take place until
Which was fucking awesome.
cool, yes, but there was 2 to 3 minutes before he was
yeah.
supposed to not make it in time, in which he was supposed to die. Him and Winston was supposed to die from not being there in 2 to 3 minutes. But
Yeah, but at that point, Kane was also not there, so it was invalidated until they showed up. I think that was the whole point, is because neither of the fighters were there. It was either going to be a duel between the dude and Winston, or it was going to be... Oh no, they couldn't because that wasn't their terms or whatever. But they were waiting for both of them to show up. That's why Kane was at the bottom of the stairs with John. Because both of them had to be there. Because if not, they're just going to execute everyone.
so I think
So he gained a bit of time.
I feel like Marquise's character was fine being there. He nominated him. I'm not sure if it falls under the pedantic terms of that or not, because it wasn't fully explained. But in terms of how I saw it, Bill Skarsgård's character Marquise was getting like het up, and he was happy that John Wick wouldn't show up because he was there. He nominated Kane. He was still the person that needed to be there, but I'm not sure how pedantic it becomes with that. I think if John Wick hadn't shown up, it would have still fallen under John Wick not showing up, but Marquise was still there. But unfortunately, we don't know about that in terms of it wasn't explained enough. I feel like the High Elder stuff is just a load of fucking crap at the moment now. Like, it is just... Like, if I was that Harbinger guy, the Clancy Brown man, like, I'd have just done in with the Marquise character long ago. He was... Like, he is literally making the High Table look ridiculous if they're supposed to be all this powerful. And if Winston knew about this freaking duel, why did he not suggest it to him in a third movie? Like, if it's a be or end all, John, you can get fucking right out of this thing. Why not suggest that in the last movie? We didn't even need...
because he didn't think his life was on the line. I think it was pretty evident that he was shown to be like really selfish in the film. Because he obviously...
He was. I wanted him to die. Like, fuck's sake. Winston's a prick.
Yeah, he is. But
goddamn Charon.
I think that it kind of explains why he didn't say before. It's because he thought he was in the clear. But now that he wasn't, he's like, oh, you can get us both out of this, or you can get yourself out of this, but I'm going to put myself in the clause.
I'm going to profit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Charon dying was a bit sad. That man's eyes can go very wide, but rest in peace him in general. But that made me laugh when just seeing his eyes go super googly as he got shot made me chuckle. But no, there was like, I don't know, there was a lot of things that just made the long aspect of the nearly 3-hour film just a bit more unbearable for me. I did keep looking at my pretend watch being like, is this going to fucking end soon? Are we actually going to get to the climax? Because
I honestly couldn't... I can't say the same. That film felt like it was only 2 hours for me. If that, like an hour and a half film, like a normal runtime. I did not feel the 3 hours. Like when I watch stuff like Lord of the Rings, I can feel the 3 hours. But when I watched that film, I could not feel it.
That's blasphemy.
No, you're wrong on that one. Maybe I just engrossed myself in media better than you, Ben.
I mean, Lord of the Rings is one of the best movies ever made for the trilogy.
Yeah,
part.
but it's so long. It's so long.
Bro, I sometimes struggle to sit and like watch like a 2.5 hour film sometimes. But then when me and Luke watched like the extended versions back to back in the same day, that was like 12 hours long. It no way felt like it was a long time, like because obviously we were sat down watching films for 12 hours back to back, but it didn't feel like I'd been sat down for 12 hours, and I've already seen the films countless times. But no, I didn't stay for the post-credit scene. I've had a read about what it is, and I mean,
it was shit. I didn't like it.
Yeah, if they make a Kane spin-off with Akira, I won't really be for it. Akira isn't that, excuse me, an amazing character.
No, she was early in the film though, so I guess if they give her an actual film, give her a chance.
They apparently shot a scene where like she actually killed Kane after he killed her dad, which would have been quite cool to be fair. But
I don't know. I really like Kane. I don't think you understand how much I liked Kane in that film.
he was very good. He got Donnie Yen's always a treat to see with his. I like that he brought back, because I don't know if you've seen Ip Man, when in the thing when he was doing like the really fast beating on the chest, like he does that in Ip Man a lot, and that was really nice to see. And he was doing some very quick stabbing with the sword, which was also cool. But
Yeah, exactly. It's because he's blind. It's only cool because he's blind. If anyone else did that and they weren't blind, it wouldn't be as cool. It wouldn't be anywhere near as cool. But when he was doing all of the like skulking around kind of moves and like properly moving around his sword and using it to tell his distance and things, this is so cool.
so have you not watched Ip Man?
No.
I would recommend you go watch Ip Man, as you'll find that very good. Donnie Yen is an absolute machine.
I wouldn't find it as good as John Wick 4.
What I said was you should go watch it, not that you'll find it better at all. If you actually listen, Marshall. I said to go watch Ip Man because of Donnie Yen. That's the reason.
Yeah, and I said I won't find it as good as John Wick 4, Benjamin.
But nowhere in my statement was there a comparison with it. I was just saying you haven't watched it, so I'd recommend it. It's a martial film.
I know.
I'm just martial arts film where I'm fairly sure that's where Donnie Yen pretty much got his like big Hollywood stuff. Like he was in Rogue One, but Ip Man's pretty much what he's been in, other than I think Mulan and just other bits and bobs that I don't know.
Oh, Mulan.
Well,
let's have a look. I'll have a look.
I assume he's been in other things, but in terms of I've seen him in Ip Man, and I think I've seen Blade, and he's been in Blade, but he's been in lots of what I can assume Cantonese or Chinese films. But he's crazy cool for that. Like normally when I watch some like martial arts stuff, sometimes it's a bit like kind of cool, but kind of not at the same time. But Ip Man was very good. I've only seen the first two, and they've both been like, teetering on the 9s out of 10s. They're just very good movies, and they're based on like a real thing, which is cool. But what else was I going to say? I mean, cool to see the Bowery King again. Lawrence Fishburne is always a treat to see in film. Like, that man should just literally be given like more villain roles. He could play a villain so well. Just his voice, tone, laugh, everything fits a good villain in my eyes. I mean, I think John Wick's dead, but we haven't actually seen a dead body. We saw him fall, but no sort of like confirmed, and there have been things talking about a John Wick 5, so I don't really know.
There was stuff saying about a John Wick 5, but I think Keanu Reeves said that he'd only do it if they could actually like figure out a decent way to do it.
From how the film's ended, if they bring back a John Wick 5, you better have a fucking stellar story, otherwise it just makes this film completely redundant. There's just, he'll now just go to try kill the entire higher table because they've gone back.
That's exactly what he said he was going to do in this film.
What? Kill the entire high table? But he's now free. He was going to kill them to become free. Man's free now. He doesn't need to do anything else.
But then they had the entire thing of when the Marquis was saying, he was like, but will you really be free? We know you. You're a killer. All of that kind of thing. It could have been just to taunt him, but I guarantee that they knew that John Wick would never be put down just by killing one dude.
I mean, I really flipping hope they don't bring him back.
Right.
The entirety of the last three films is to be free. Like, either we needed that film to be like, I am a fucking killer, and him die because, just die trying to be free, but accepting that he's a killer. Not to milk it and bring back a fifth one after he's already... That's literally like making another James Bond film and saying, you know what, he didn't actually die. There is one more mission left that only 007 can complete. It would just be like, well, why did you have a film where it climaxed so well to have him die and finish, just to then be like, whoa, turns out us Hollywood people need some more money, so you know what, we're going to bring him back. And you know what, we're going to tell you it's going to be a good story, but what's actually going to happen is it's going to be a pretty piss-poor story. But you're going to watch it anyway, because it's a new flipping film with, even John Wick 5 or 007. But I can only hope. I would rather see an entire different movie series with Donnie Yen, or just other characters within the John Wick world, whether that's pre-John Wick or even after John Wick. I'd take that same style of film with just more stuff. Like, I wish we kind of got to know a bit more about the tracker. And I'm so thankful that no dogs died. When that dog got hit by a fucking car, I literally grabbed my thing to like stand up to be like, no, I ain't fucking watching this. You ain't just slobbered a car into a dog and killed it. Like, I was about to peace out. But honestly, no one seems to be able to stick to anything that they get assigned to in this at all, which is just sheer lunacy. Man waits so long for John Wick to be worth the money, but because he saves that one dog of his that's 40 million, just decides to randomly just not be bought. Like, I can get the niceness of it, but I mean, he's supposed to be a trained tracker and killer and hunter. I don't know how, I mean...
But his dog is like his one companion, his one thing that he has going for him in his life.
Emotional support.
The fact that John Wick him.
Like, I'm happy that they're friends and whatnot. It was just one of those things where it's like...
Nah, it made complete sense. Like, unironically, it made complete sense.
I am the robot. Shit, Continentals, that was quite cool. Like, I would take other films in the John Wick universe, as I was saying, but focused on different characters and different things. Even if it was just, focusing on, like, how come we didn't see a France Continental? Like, we were in Paris for a heck of a while. Unless I just missed the bit where they spoke about it, but I'm fairly sure we only got, Winston's New York Continental and the Osaka Continental, and that was it. It was
they didn't go to one because they were all excommunicado at that point, so it probably would have been very redundant to...
Would have been cool to see randomly. Would have been cool to see some more actual we're in flipping France for Christ's sake, and you're telling me that we don't see any French assassins.
There were loads.
I mean, actual big hitters, big names. You have to get Donnie Yen from wherever Donnie Yen came from. I think he was in New York with just Mia and was just unrelentingly not able to speak to Mia for whatever bloody reason.
I mean, he's implied to be from Japan, no?
Aye. With his brother Shimazu, or whatever the fuck his name is, the geese from... I can't even remember what it's fucking called. I don't even know where I've seen him, to be fair. He was in Mortal Kombat. He was Scorpion. He was the elder in Bullet Train.
In Bullet Train. I love that film, by the way. I love Bullet Train.
Yeah, Bullet Train's fucking cool.
Yeah, this was Bullet Train, but better. John Wick 4 is Bullet Train, but better.
I mean, I really want them to do a spin-off series, or a prequel series, if you like, for Bullet Train with Tangerine and Lemon. Like, if you suddenly were just to announce tomorrow, Tangerine and Lemon film coming, just title back Tangerine and Lemon.
I'd take a mini-series or something, honestly.
Yeah. There's so much potential for other good things within things to do. Not for Disney to go, hey, you know what we need to do right now? We need to remake and do a live-action Moana. That's the news that's come out.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
Why? Do you have nothing else to do other than remake Disney films to live action?
I'm convinced it's all The Rock. After Black Adam completely failed, he just needs a win right now. Even though he's the fucking Rock, and he
could literally go, hey, I want to go back to WWE for just a Royal Rumble or something. That'd bring in tons of tracks, and everyone would be like, holy shit, he's back again. But I don't really know the ins and outs of how he retired or whatnot. So
yeah, I don't know either. But oh well, whatever. Live action Moana, I guess.
But to go back to John Wick, I mean, it's still, there are enjoyable elements for all parties, regardless if you like the film or if you don't. If you like the film or if you don't. I thought I said if you don't like it twice. By all means, go watch it, and then you're allowed to make your own decision on if you liked it or not. Some people like John Wick, some people don't. I am still in the category of liking John Wick, to clarify. And I wish my Instagram post would allow more than 2,000 characters. As I was typing, and then suddenly I was like, none of my words are appearing. And I was like, I've reached the max. And I was like, oh, well. I like the fire bullets, but Instagram won't let me put any more. I put a little bit more on my, my letterbox one, but is there any other positive things that you would like to say about this movie, Marshall?
I've got lots, but I feel like that's a pretty decent place to end the film. If anyone really cares for my opinion, I'll post it in the comments or something. Ask for it, and you shall
an entire
receive.
A4 page worth of text.
I'll post a tweet longer. I'll just link it in the comments.
I am so looking forward to the fucking Flash film. Like, I've not watched the trailer for that.
I am not looking forward to the Flash film because I hate Ezra Miller.
I hate Ezra Miller too.
But the concept of the film looks really fucking good.
After what they did to Johnny Depp, and then they're just like, yep, you know what, we're going to let you, even though you've been convicted, to just still get away with doing this. But I have to say, the film looks fucking so cool. I got goosebumps while I was watching that. And the Oppenheimer film. I love
Oppenheimer looks insane. Oppenheimer honestly gave me fucking goosebumps in the cinema. I was like terrified, and it's not even that scary of a trailer.
I know. And then literally just afterwards, just Robert Downey Jr. And he's like, well, you all know what happened. And I was like, I actually don't know. I had to Google it. Because I was just
He made
the atomic bomb stuff. I now know that now. And that was who I was thinking, but I wasn't really sure. I had no idea if the Oppenheimer thing was just like a like media / fictional thing, or if it was actually real. I didn't know if it was like a Chernobyl type of thing, or if like a made up Godzilla type of like Oppenheimer type of thing. But that's just because I'm not very clued in with history when it comes to things, to be honest. I tend to stay off that radar. But no, thank you very much for watching, and if you made it this far, if you've watched John Wick, tell me if you have, tell me if you enjoyed it. Hit the bell, hit the like button, all that stuff.
Smash that bell! Smash the sub button!
I'm gonna have to
and leave a comment down below.
I'll have to get you to record your own type of thing. Where it's just you doing it at the beginning of the video. I say, take it away, Marshall, then it cuts you to hit the smash button. And all
No, I'll do it like, what was that guy that used to, I'll do it. You want to join our free gift card giveaway?
I honestly need to look if there are things like that. When you said about the Twitch things, you can find like people to like, you know, where you get sponsorship stuff. I wanted to see if there's a thing like that for YouTube. I don't care how silly it is. Yeah. But yeah, if you've randomly made it this far, thank you, one of the 8 viewers that watch. Thank you. Toodly pip and goodbye. I've even left a second for you to say goodbye.